Hey, what's up guys, Wonder Bro. It's been very stressful here lately with everything happening with Grandma. So I haven't got around to making a video in a while, and I figured I would today. And I've had a lot of requests that I haven't done yet, so we're going to do one. I was talking to someone that had watched my videos, and they asked me, they said, what do you do if you run into setbacks as far as anxiety goes? So that's what we're going to talk about real quick, setbacks and how you should deal with them as far as anxiety goes. Now, a setback can be a number of things. You can think that you're cured one day, and then the next day, out of nowhere, after months of being anxiety-free, you have some anxiety. The worst possible thing that you can do is look at that setback as a failure, because that gets your mind tricked back into that whole cycle that you just got out of. So the way that you need to look at setbacks is actually a step forward instead of a step backwards. And that's the way I do it. Whenever I'm feeling confident. I don't know what the fuck that is. I promise that's not fucking splooge. It's not man bazooka juice. I don't know what the fuck that is. Ignore that. The best thing you can do, lost my train of thought. The best thing you can do when you have a setback, like when I used to have setbacks, and I still do from time to time, is to look at it as a step forward, because it gives you time to practice. You know, it's been so long since you've had anxiety, you need a little practice, you know? And they're fairly easy to get over depending on the situation, you know. It's always fairly easy to overcome. You have a setback one day, but then the next day you've already forgot about it if you go about it the right way. Don't look at it as a step back, because that's a huge mistake. If you look at it as a step back, you're already starting to trick yourself back into that old cycle of anxiety. So if you're anxiety free for months, years, weeks, whatever, and you have some anxiety and you think, oh God, here it comes again, we're starting this over again, we're back to square one, it's not that at all. Not that at all, I promise you. It's just a perfect time to practice, is all it is. And that's the way you need to look at it. Just a perfect time to practice, take it as a time to practice, and learn from it. Realize, hey, all my techniques, the loosen and accept it method, which I talk about in other videos if you want to check it out, it's the only method that works. You know, you can tell yourself, hey, it really works. Look, I had a setback, and here it is tomorrow, and I'm not even thinking about it. So you have a step back, it's a step forward, not a step backwards. Remember that. Put all your techniques into practice, loosen and accept it, say fuck it. And if you want more details on that method, I've got other videos on here that'll explain that more, and it'll really help you out, so check those out for sure. But yeah, that's what you do. If you have a setback, you don't look at it in a negative way, you look at it in a positive way, because that's totally turning the tables around on what you thought you know. So it really helps to look at it that way, step forward, and a perfect time to practice. Just look at it as a time to practice. Hey, I'm feeling anxious, I haven't felt this way in a while. Instead of freaking out and saying, oh God, it's back, which is going to trick yourself back into that old fucking cycle that you just broke, look at it in a different way. Look at it in a new direction and say, hey, I'm having anxiety, but that's okay, because I know how to get out of here, I know how to stop this, and I know what works now. I know what works for me now. So look at it as practice. Don't look at it as a negative thing or a bad thing, because it's not. And just because you have a little anxiety doesn't mean you're going back to where you was. Okay, it's just giving you time to practice, that's all it's doing. So look at it in a positive way, not a negative way, because I promise you that's what it is. But yeah, so that's how you deal with setbacks, and they're bound to happen every now and then. You know, even if you think you're 100% cured, and you know, chances are, you know, there's a chance you may never experience anxiety in your life again, not in a negative way anyway. That's possible, but if you have an anxiety disorder, chances are you might have a setback from time or two, you know. I'm not saying it'll be as bad as it was before, because chances are it's not going to be, especially if you learned from this technique and you recovered the right way. But if you have a setback, which is bound to happen once or twice, you know, whatever, it's not a big deal, okay? You know, just stop looking at it in such a negative way, okay? It's a positive thing. You can learn from it, you can practice, you can prove to yourself once again that you're cured because you know how to handle it, and it's no big deal. So it's actually a positive thing. If you look at it from that perspective, it really does help, and you'll see that. So put that into play as along with the loosen and accepted method that I've been over so many times before. So that's how you deal with setbacks. Sorry I haven't made a video in a while. I've got a lot of requests to do, and I'm trying to do at least one a day. I took a couple days off from YouTube. But I'm going to start trying to get back into the requests. So if you have any, I could always use some ideas, some questions. I don't care to answer anything. I like helping people. So comment, message me if you have me on Facebook, whatever, and I'll do a video for your question. So yeah, like, subscribe, share. It really helps me out. We've almost broke 100 subscribers, and I've only been doing videos for a week or two now, so that's amazing. You guys must like me after all. Awesome. Thanks guys. Yeah, like, subscribe, you know the deal. Stay awesome.